Hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about some hard questions. And I've asked some and I had some replies and also I didn't have some replies. And with the replies that I got, I wasn't really happy with. So let me roll the intro and let's talk about it.
Hello, my name is Grump.
Alright, so before we start, I need to roll you something, and this is gonna be from the last Q&A, the vehicle content team, when it was last Friday, when they talked about it, and it was like featuring John Crew and Richard Towler, and yeah, they responded to one of my questions, one of which wasn't deleted because every time I post a question for the Q&A, it gets deleted because it doesn't meet the guidelines, because the guidelines are, they don't want to answer when questions. Basically, that's the main guideline.
What is the timeline we're looking at for the... One question. We're looking at for the interior remodeling in Gold Pass on this amazing space whale.
Not going to answer a when question.
So in the Q&A, I have asked what's happening with the Polaris, and I also asked what's happening with the Odyssey. And yeah, the Odyssey question just didn't go through, I guess. The Polaris answer was enough because I guess they replied to it solely because the Polaris got announced 5-6 years ago. Maybe even more. I think it was in 2016, so you count. With the Odyssey, on the other hand, we saw a white box, so they were working on it, but you never know with them, so I just wanted to see what's happening with my ship. And yes, I am an owner of the Polaris and the Odyssey. JPEGs, basically. I don't even fucking have a JPEG. I just have it on in my hangar, and that's it. It was a cheap buy for me, and I wouldn't advise you to buy big ships ever. You'll see why, but it was a cheap buy for me solely because I have a bunch of referral things that I'm getting from people that are buying the game through my referral code, so I can just upgrade from that to a better ship or a bigger ship or a more expensive ship, so it wasn't that bad. And yeah, they answered, and let's see what the answer is about the Polaris.
Why do some ships get prioritized over others? There are some ships we've been waiting for, like the currently being built Banner Merchantman since 2013.
This is another thing to write a book on. There is no one answer that applies to every ship. It is a combination of the resources we have at the time. If I could click my fingers now, put the Polaris into production, that would take out a big chunk of the UK team for maybe 12-18 months, which means we can't deliver a constant flow of other vehicles in patches. So you could go multiple patches without any vehicle release or any support for other features coming out.
So this is not an actual response to my question. It was a response to the question and then another question which you heard just now. But since the question is like that and since the response is so long, I figured I should just cut it up in a few pieces and try to respond to that response. So what he said right now is that they need to take 12 to 18 months to make a ship, capital ship, a big ship. Doesn't matter. It just needs to be big, right? So we currently have, and I have this in my notepad, we currently have in production, and you just heard that Polaris is not even in production and it got announced in 2016 or something like that. So we currently have the Perseus, the Odyssey, the Polaris, the Liberator, the Manu Merchantman, the Idris M, the Idris P, the Javelin, the Orion, Endeavor, Nautilus, Crucible, Kraken, Kraken Privateer, Genesis Starliner, and the Pioneer. That is 16 ships, or 14 if you take out the Kraken Privateer and the Idris P, which are just variants, but they're not, because they're like different. But what, like, I'm gonna keep it at like 16. No, I'm gonna be generous, and I'm gonna keep it at 14. Let it be 14. So 12 months per ship, 14 ships. How many months is that? Like, do you see the issue here? If that's the issue, if that's the actual issue, what he just said, why do they announce them every couple of years? Why do they announce big fucking ships every couple of years, or basically every year, like around IAE? Why do you do that to yourselves? Why do you do that to us? Now, let me go through the list again. The Perseus, $675. Polaris, $750. Odyssey, $700. Liberator, $575. Banu Merchantman, $550. Idris M, $1,000. Idris P, $1,500. Javelin, $3,000. Orion, $575. Endeavor, $450. That's like the mid price from all the like different variants. So I just got the 450 price. It's a weird one because, like, yeah, you can buy the things. It doesn't matter if you don't know what it is. You don't know. But please do not correct me in the fucking comments, because I know what I'm talking about. Nautilus, Nautilus, $725. Crucible, $350. Kraken, $1,650. Kraken Privateer, $2,000. Genesis Starliner, it's around 400. I didn't type it in. It's my mistake. It's like around $400. And then you have the Pioneer, $850. So combined, that's a lot of bucks, right? So you got a lot of money, and a lot of people have those ships. A lot of people are waiting for those ships. You announced them fucking 6 years ago. Some of these were announced, like the Javelin and the Idris. They were announced like in 2012. I've said this story on this channel like 10 fucking times now, at least. Statistically, there should be a guy that pledged in 2012 for a Javelin, and he died and he didn't get the Javelin. And I had that perspective before I started the channel, and when I started the channel, it's one of the first things that I said. And then actually I've met a guy whose father has passed, and he pledged for a Javelin back in 2012, and he didn't get the Javelin. Like, we are 10 years in development, 11 if you count the pre-Kickstarter phase. What's up, guys? Like, what's happening? I know that you don't like when questions, but dudes, what the fuck? Like, that's a lot of ships, and you keep on adding those ships, like you keep on adding ships on top of those without finishing these and giving us like other small fighters. What's up with that? But let's see like the continuation of the answer and what they had to say on this topic.
We have to balance that across not just delivering vehicles, but supporting the other teams. The last few years, we've been trying to not push vehicles out without their gameplay.
All right, so the first few things that he said was actually okay. Like, you don't want to get the ships out if they don't have a gameplay loop, or if they're just not gonna work. But is it truthful? Let's see. So he said like in the past few years, and I'm gonna just talk about the last year, 2021, the ships that got released the last year. So MSR, Data Runner, $400i, Explorer, and what is it, like a luxury transport vehicle for like tax emissions and all of that. I mean, okay. Cutlass Steel, dropship, for what purpose? For what purpose exactly? Nobody's gonna use it on Jumptown. It should be used for like raiding bases and all of that, but we don't have that in the game. On the topic of dropships, we have the M2. Still, dropship, What purpose? We don't know. We have the A2 with the bombs, the huge fucking bombs. And what are you gonna bomb? The only thing that you're gonna bomb is, of course, Jumptown. And $750 for that, I'm not sure that it's really useful. They didn't give us a thing, basically a thing to bomb, but we have bombs, and I'm gonna give it to them. At least the gun doors on the Cuddy steel and the A2 bombs work. But what's up with the MSR and the 400i? We got a Cyclone, ground vehicles. Why? For what? For what purpose? On what planet? On where? No answer to that. I can ask those questions, but no answer. For bunker missions, you can just hide the ship behind a rock. You can just hide the ship behind the pillars so the turret can't shoot you. You can walk to there. You can destroy the turret. I don't get it. And then we got the Tonk. And then we have the Spartan. That's one of the last vehicles that got released. And of course, we have the Mule that came out without its game loop, and it's not even fucking working. I got it, I still didn't test it out, but as far as I heard, it cannot pick up any boxes. So, was that truthful? No, it was not truthful. Let's go a bit into the past. So they have released a few big ships in the past, and those ships still don't have game loops, and that's of course the 890 Jump, which is $950, which got released in 2019. The price before release was $890, because that's funny. And then we have the Reclaimer, released in 2018, $400 currently, no game loop. 890 Jump doesn't have a game loop. It's exploration and taxi missions and all of that, and luxury, whatever, touring. No game loop, basically. 600i, 2018. I mean, it has 3 size 5 guns, and it's valuable just because of that. But exploration, touring, and all that, it just doesn't make sense because it doesn't work, because we don't have that game loop. And the Carrack apparently got released in 2020. I'm not sure, because I started playing late 2020, beginning of 2021, and I did follow the development of the game, but I wouldn't know when the Carrack got released. But it is $600, and none of its game loops work. So 2020 is if it really got released in 2020, so that's 2 years ago. So what he said, couple of years, the last couple of years, couple means 2, 2020, 2, and -2 is 2020. So therefore, it's not truthful. You can say whatever, but it's not truthful. It doesn't even need to be game loops. Maybe he didn't mean game loops. Maybe he meant tech for that's gonna work. And then we have the Carrack. Let's stick with the Carrack. It has drones. The drones don't work. It has a repair station. Doesn't work. It has a cartography deck. Doesn't work, because exploration is not a game loop, because it doesn't work. It has a medical bay, but they're gonna take out, it's not gonna be a tier 1 anymore, so it's not gonna spawn people anymore. It's just gonna be where you heal, basically. It has do I need to continue? It has fucking modularity, but that's not in the game still. All of those pods where you can store cargo, you can exchange those pods and just use it for something else, for a refinery, whatever. It doesn't have that. That doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And was this truthful? Fuck no. 2 years. If it actually got released in 2020, that was 2 years. And you have a bunch of other ships that got released last year that I was here to see and witness, that they released ships without a game loop for them, and without all the tech working on them. And I'm not even talking about escape pods. We have no idea how they're gonna work. We have no idea when they're gonna work, but we have them. And yay, at some point we're gonna escape from the ships. like, see, like, my main thing here is we need to see, like, progress. If you're gonna announce a bunch of shit, a bunch of ships, you better fucking deliver on them, right? And, like, am I being negative now? Am I being a bastard now? Am I being hyperbolic for asking those questions, like, for saying that? Because that's fucking obvious. We paid for it, we want it. You promised us something 10 years ago, 6 years ago, 5 years ago, a year ago, it doesn't fucking matter. You promised us. We're not asking when exactly, but are you fucking working on it? No, you're not even fucking working on the Polaris. So we need to see progress. But let's see what else they have to say in their defense.
So things like the Crucible, we could make the Crucible now, but we don't really want it floating around without the repair gameplay to go alongside. So whilst I can control the production of the vehicle, I have to rely and work with other directors to get their side delivered alongside it. And the problems that affect me of, hey, we've changed our minds for IE, we want to do this instead, also affects them for other things, like the feature they're working on now might be delayed for another team, which delays the feature I need for this vehicle. So we chop and change a lot.
All right, so this could be understandable if the things that I said prior to this weren't a thing, because this is just not truthful. I mean, I understand, I completely fucking understand the point of view, and I support it, of course, but then again, why would you announce all of those ships if you knew that they just wouldn't work? Why would you sell those? Why would you sell a Crucible, because he's talking about the Crucible, when you know that it's not gonna be in for at least a couple of years now? Like, okay, maybe they're gonna rush the production and just get it out. Okay, nice. But what about the Polaris and the Perseus? So the Polaris and the Perseus both have, like, what do they have? They have a like, let's talk about the Polaris because they have it. Has torps. We have torps. They are size 10 torps apparently, which is like a size, like one size bigger than the Retaliator's torps. So it's just making new model, making new damage model, and all of that. Okay, that's gonna take some time. It has a hangar. Which other ship has a... Oh yeah, the Carrack and the A90 Jump. So we have hangars in our game already. But are we gonna be able to spawn ships in those hangars? We don't know. Are we gonna be able to, like, repair ships in those hangars? Apparently so. But still, it's such a minor thing compared to the Carrack that doesn't have a single fucking game loop working for it. Why didn't you like release the Polaris? On the other hand, we have the Perseus that doesn't have a hangar. It has missiles, like size 5 torpedoes or something like that, and it has like 2 turrets with size 7 guns. We have turrets, we have size 7 guns, so where's the Perseus? And there's more ships that were like that are just concept ships that are like that, like the Nautilus. The Nautilus is basically a big ship. It has mines, it lays mines, but we have bombs now. And why is that so different to mines? Why didn't they work on the mines, the bombs, and the missiles at the same time? Or at least on the mines and the bombs? Or the different sizes of the bombs, because we can actually buy a size 3 bombs. If you didn't know, now you know. We can buy size 3 bombs as well, the size 6 repeaters, but we don't have any ships that can carry size 3 bombs or size 6 repeaters. So we have them in the game, but we don't. So what's up with that? That's another hard question. We don't know. And that's basically why I said that this is not really truthful. I know that like he's doing his best. Like don't attack me. Don't think that I'm attacking him especially. No, I'm not. He's just the guy that answered to questions, and he is the guy that is basically representing CAG. It's CAG's fault as a company that they're doing really bad for us. They're doing fucking amazing for them. They're making a lot of money. They have sold like a ton of mist, basically, and that's a translation from Serbian. If you're Serbian, you're gonna understand it. Like bottled mist, basically, mist in a jar. But once you open the jar, and there's no fucking jar either. Like the jar is just like being on your hanger here, and I clicked on the orgs. Being on your hanger here and just like looking at your Polaris, your whatever ship, it doesn't matter. So like, see? But let's hear what else they have to say.
And then also, if you have artists especially, hey, you're working on this big ship for 18 months. You don't want to put them on another big ship for 18 months afterwards. You want to break that and give them, hey, here's a nice little snub ship to do. So that's why you might see like a random ground vehicle come out from nowhere, because they are much quicker relatively to do, and gives those people a nice like palette refresh of what they're doing.
So basically what he just said is that after they're done with a ship, and I was generous and I said that there is 14 ships, and I was also generous when I said it's gonna take him 12 months, which is a year, so that's 14 years of human life just to release the ships that were announced. And then he said that they need to take some time off, basically, by doing smaller ships. So that's gonna be like 6 months or 3 months or whatever. Let it be 6 months. So 14 times 6, or times half, because it's half a year. So that's gonna be 7 years. So on top of 14 years, you have 7. So in 21 years, maybe, we're gonna have all the ships from the list. And I'm gonna remind you again, if you just joined, because like I'm premiering this, and this is gonna be also here as a video. But yeah, Perseus, Polaris, Odyssey, Liberator, Banner Merchantman, Idris M, Idris P, Javelin, Orion, Endeavor, Nautilus, Crucible, Kraken, Kraken Privateer, Genesis, Starliner, Pioneer. Those are the announced ships. It's 16 of them, but since 2 of them like have just variants of them, I was generous and I said 14. So that's 14 years plus 7 years of just like chilling, and that's 21 years. So in 21 years, maybe we're gonna have our Krakens and our Javelins. And then, of course, on top of that, they're gonna add more and more new ships, like capital size ships and all of that, because like, yeah, you're gonna want them in 21 years when they finish with these ones, or maybe they're gonna like bounce them around. And then the Orion, I didn't put the Orion. Oh, I did. And then like the Orion which is like one of the first, or the Javelin is gonna be postponed because yeah, we're doing the Emerald or the Venture, the whatever. They're gonna make a name, and it's gonna be fucking amazing. It's always gonna be amazing. And every ship, like each ship that they're gonna release, that's gonna go into a concept phase, is gonna be better than the last one. Because yeah, like you will want to have it either by CCUing or by buying it outright, because like most of them are just gonna be limited sales only, and you probably began to realize why you shouldn't buy big ships in this game, and why you should always ask the hard questions and never give them an opportunity to tell you no, you can't. Because yes, you can, because you're fucking paying for that. You're the customer, and you are basically well, I'm not gonna be a fucking Karen now, but there's a lot of things that like, a lot of discrepancies. Like, we don't really need a Kraken right now, right? We really don't need a Kraken. Like, we don't even fucking have the second system, and we need a second system to justify having a Liberator, a Kraken, or anything like that. But we're gonna get those soon-ish. And those are not even in production. And it takes them 12 to 18 months to like produce one of them. So am I being a Karen now for like saying that like, dudes, what? What are you talking about? Like, maybe the Idris and the Javelin, and we can take him off the list. Maybe we can take him off the list just because like they should be done already, because of Squadron 42, but maybe not. Because nobody saw that. Nobody saw him. We just had a tour of the Javelin, not even the half of the Javelin. The Idris in the game, when you get it, when you fucking steal it, it doesn't have anything, because there's no point in having a rendered interior, because it's just like AI piloted. So like, why would it have the interior at all? So maybe it's already finished and just waiting for Squadron 42, which is gonna be released soon, trademarked by CAG, but then they're gonna do all the sequels and all of that. Never mind, I'm gonna digress. But am I being a fucking Karen for asking, like, dudes, $700? That's like minimum wage here in Serbia is like $150 to $200 per month. Like, most people here earn like $300, $350, $400, $450 per month. Do you know how many months of not eating basically is that? I don't have that problem, I'm fucking fat, but do you know how like, do you understand why is this a problem? It's 700 fucking bucks. The Polaris is 750. The Odyssey is $700. The Javelin is $3,000. You don't need to buy them, of course, but since you bought them and since you trusted them with your money, they should be considerate, and they should answer to the one questions, and they should think about how we feel as backers, because most of us are actually pissed off. But let's see what else they had to say, and let's finish the video.
So yeah, we're not actively ignoring the older ships. A lot of them have gameplay consequences and gameplay requirements that I don't have an answer of when they will come online, so I can't plan developing those ships at that point. Again,
the hard question: when are we gonna get those game loops or whatever? Or better yet, why did you sell those ships if you knew that you're not ready for those? And does this mean that we need to wait for that tech to come online, so then you can start working on each of those ships? So we're gonna wait a few years more, and then we're gonna have those 21 years to get all the ships. Like, is that the answer? Like, I don't know. It's a hard question, and somebody needs to fucking answer it. It's not me. I'm here to ask the question. You guys are also here to ask the question. You can post this video, or you can just post your question, this question, on Spectrum. You don't even need to fucking share the video. You're here, you can see it, you can understand what I'm saying, and just ask the fucking question. If you want to share the video, share it. If you don't. I don't fucking care. I mean, I care it's gonna be more revenue and all of that, but I'm just being honest. But somebody needs to fucking ask those questions, and we need those answers. I'm 34, pushing on 35. I'm gonna be 35 in like a few months from now. And like 21 years, I'm gonna be 56 once I get one of the ships that I wanted. Like, see, obviously it's not 21 years, but it's a long fucking period. And obviously they're gonna grow as a team, and obviously they're gonna have more people working on more ships, etc., obviously. But it's not gonna be less than like 10 years from now, right? Because like, it's not like magically gonna all appear in like 2 years, 3 years from now. Because they're gonna add more and more ships. See what I mean? That's why you need to ask those questions. That's why I am asking those questions. I don't have I have like 2,600 subscribers, and thank you for that. I love you guys, and you can subscribe if you want to, but I don't have the power to get an answer from them. And we need a fucking answer, because this is getting ridiculous, right? And then there's one more thing that Jared said that really surprised me. And I'm gonna say that maybe I'm not sure if he slipped or if it was just a brain fart, but listen to this.
And not for nothing, the larger ships. I mentioned the Banner Merchantman in 2013, but there's also the Idris from 2012. It's like this multi-crew gameplay and resource management. I mean, even if we could make an Idris right now, I mean, because most of it's part of Squadron 42 and stuff like this, and put it out there, it'd just be like driving around in a giant canoe. I mean, it's like you need the multi-crew gameplay, you need the resource management in order to have a capital ship experience. To put it out right now would be disappointing in more than one way. I know people want to have it. They want to see it. They want to walk around. They want to walk around and take all the pictures and everything. And then after you're done with that for the first 8 hours, you go, well, now I want to do something with it. Yeah, it's a very big gladius, and that's not what we want to. That's not what we want that experience to be.
Yeah.
Now, most of what Jared just said is completely reasonable, and it's probably just true, and it's understandable. And yes, we don't need oversized gladiuses or like sabers, whatever. We don't need oversized hurricanes. Yet they're still announcing them. Yet they are still, like with Polaris, it has concept art, and it got announced in 2016, something like that. 15 maybe, I forgot. We have the Odyssey. It has white box, like they showed us the white box phase of the Odyssey. When are we gonna get that? Like the Odyssey doesn't have anything that we already don't have in the game. It has like mining, it has refining is coming, and like it's not gonna be that hard to do the Odyssey, but you never know. We might wait for like 5-6 years, like you never know. But did you catch one thing that he said? And I'm gonna repeat it now.
Even if we could make an Idris right now. Even if we could make an Idris right now.
So does that mean that the Idris is not done yet? Because they said that it's done, but it's just waiting for Squadron 42 to be released so we can have it in Star Citizen. Because yeah, it's gonna come with the Squadron 42. But like, just tell me in the comments, was that a slip or was that like a brain fart? What was it? Did I not understand it like correctly? Does that mean something else? I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, that's the video for today, guys. Thank you for watching, and thank you to all my patrons for supporting the channel. If you want to support the channel, there's going to be a link down in the info section of the video, and you can support it through Patreon. And yeah, like, tell me in the comment section what do you think about this, and just spam them with like when questions, and just be more like aggressive until you get what you want, because I don't know any other way of like, how can you make CAG? Is there any other way to make them to give us what we want? I mean, okay, there was the pandemic and all of that. Okay, there's delays. Okay, 5, 6, 7 years, 10 years for the Idris and the Javelin. That's not okay. That is not okay. So again, thank you for watching, and don't forget to bring a towel when you're traveling through space, and mwah, bye. Love ya.